Julian Assange has won the latest stage of his legal fight to avoid extradition to the United States on espionage charges. Joining us live is Julian Assange's brother, Gabriel Shipton. Really appreciate you making time for us. Thank you. Just how big a win is this for Julian and his legal team? What does it mean in terms of what happens next?
Well, it's a huge win for Julian. It's very relieving that he's not actually on a plane extradited to the United States today. I did hear that there were US Marshals inside the courtroom who, if the ruling hadn't gone Julian's way, were ready to pounce and take him to the United States. So it is very relieving that he lives to fight another day. There will be continued more appeal hearings, which seems this process has gone on so long. Asher is 5 years now in a maximum security prison fighting this extradition. But it's still significant, this win, even though Julian will remain in prison as this appeal process continues on. There's 4 days now for the defence and the prosecution to get together and come up with a timeline for the next hearings before they take that to the judges to set a time for the hearings. So we're expecting this to move quite quickly now. But I think what's significant about this ruling is that the UK judges, not that they ruled in Julian's favour, but they ruled in favour of freedom of expression in the United Kingdom. They rejected a US assurance that said essentially that the US could use their secrecy laws to reach into the UK and grab anyone, and then they wouldn't be able to use freedom of expression defence. Now, the judges ruled against that and said that the US cannot use its secrecy laws to reach into the UK and suppress freedom of expression in this country. So I think it's a significant ruling, not just for Julian, but everyone in the United Kingdom.
And how is Julian? How would you describe his mental, his physical health at this point?
Yeah, well, his health has been deteriorating for many, many years. He's in that maximum security prison. And just recently there was a prisoner, this is the kind of people he's in this jail with. There was a prisoner inside the prison who is a convicted cannibal. These are the kinds of people that Julian has to be in prison with. These sorts of I just don't know what to say. It's really wearing him down. It's heartbreaking going to see him. When I go and visit him, I'll go and visit him again next week. I'm flying to Washington tomorrow to continue advocating for Julian over there. But he's hanging in there. Obviously, he's buoyed by this decision, and we're all ready to keep fighting, and we're going to keep fighting, Ash. We're going to keep fighting until Julian's free.
Well, yeah, Gabriel, it sounds like, your life's really been taken over by this fight as well as Julian and other key supporters. What do you expect life would look like for Julian if he is released? Does he have a desire to continue with his WikiLeaks work? Have you spoken to him about what he actually wants the future to hold for him?
Well, I think he'd like to move to the countryside and have a bit of a peaceful life. I think that's what, the conversations that I've had with him. He needs time to recover. The doctors have said that he can recover from most of his ailments in time. So he needs some time to just be at peace, reconnect with his children and his family. He's got a 7-year-old son who's only ever known him in prison. I mean, and my daughter, she's 10 now, and she's only ever known Julian, without freedom. So it's been a very, very long time, and I think Julian would appreciate some time just to take it easy, somewhere in Australia, close to the beach, where he can just rest and relax for a time before even thinking about what he's going to do with the rest of his life.
Well, it sounds like after those proceedings overnight in London, he might be one step closer. But as you say, still a way to go. We'll be watching very closely to see how things pan out. Gabriel Shipton, appreciate you joining us there live from London. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.